The Central Bank of Nigeria has increased the benchmark interest rate more than anticipated as part of the country's longest stretch of uninterrupted monetary tightening in about 11 years, stating its commitment to containing inflation. Governor Godwin Emefiele announced the benchmark rate was increased to 16.5% from 15.5% for the fourth consecutive time by the Monetary Policy Committee on Tuesday in the nation's capital, Abuja. The increase exceeded the median prediction of 12 analysts in the Bloomberg survey for an increase of about 75 basis points.
The committee's choices were on whether to further hike rates or pause for the impact of the last three rate hikes to continue to feed through. At this meeting, therefore, the options considered were primarily to hold or further tighten the policy rate. The options to loosen was not considered, as this would gravely undermine the gains of the last three policy rate hikes. Committee Thursday voted by a unanimous vote to raise the NPR. 9 members voted to raise the NPR by 100 basis points, and 2 members voted to raise the NPR by 50 basis points. In summary, MPC voted to 1. Raise the NPR to 16.5%, 2. Retain the asymmetric corridor of plus 100 and minus 700 basis points around the NPR. 3. Retain the CRR at 32.5%, and 4. Retain the liquidity ratio at 30%.
Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele also said there is no going back on the January 31st deadline for the transition to the redesigned Naira notes. Here's an excerpt from his post-MPC press conference.
Has been raised is that, are we going to shift the deadline? The answer remains no. Capital no. We will not shift any deadline. What we have done is not against the law. It is in tandem with the law. We announced this program on October the 26th, 2022, and we said that upon release of the new currency, that the legal tender status will run concurrently with the old currency till 31st January 2023. That is almost 100 days. 100 days is enough for any person in any part of Nigeria to deposit his money in the bank and get ready to withdraw cash when the new notes are released.
All right, joining us to discuss further, Arise Business Analyst Chika Mbonu, who correctly predicted the 100 basis point rise. You nailed it. You're very welcome, sir. Thanks for joining us. So please, the stage is yours.
If you want the good news,
you can come to Chika.
No. Come to Arise TV. You want to know what's happening in the economy? Come to Arise TV.
Fantastic.
As I said, I think yesterday, I said each time that the CBN governor, they meet, the MPC meet, they're always confronted with the issue of, should we hold the rates?
Yes.
Should we reduce the rates or increase the rates? Now, we'll talk about the fact that the MPR, the monetary policy rate, is the lead rate in the economy.
Yes.
Now, that rate is the rate at which the banks in the system and the central bank give money to each other, take money and give money to each other. And so, on that platform, if the rate is increased, the banks will go back home and increase their lending rates and deposit rates.
Yes.
Even in Nigeria, banks like to increase deposit lending rates, but they keep quiet on the deposit rates.
Yes.
The tension is that if the rate of borrowing is increased, it means it becomes more expensive for you to borrow.
Yeah.
And it's a disincentive. So there will be less borrowing and the money in the system will reduce and contract. Remember, we said the inflation is too much money pursuing too few goods.
Yeah.
So the theory is that if that rate is increased, it becomes more expensive to borrow and that less money, Naira, chasing the few goods that we have. And in that way, it will help to moderate inflation.
Yeah.
That's the theory. That's how it should work.
Fantastic.
And that's why that CBN moved that rate. That's why they moved that rate up. But we already knew all the baskets, things in the basket. We thought about the fact that, taken from the world economy, most central bank governors around the world are faced with inflation. In the UK, the European Union, the US, And what we thought about yesterday was the fact that sometimes the medicine that you require for to solve the issue of inflation is contra to growth and output. It's like a time, what can we use in the trade? The time I had an issue with my eyes, and the doctor said they had to give me steroids, and steroids can make you put on weight, and make you blow up. And I was just looking glum, and I said, and the doctor said, do you want to get blind or do you want to put on weight?
Right.
So pick one. So I had to pick the less of that. So the CBN governor is confronted with do I drive down inflation, or do I, and that medicine that will drive down inflation will also hurt growth. With less money, in the system for the companies, they won't be able to expand their plants, recruit people, and so output will reduce. That's how it works. But so the more, the bigger problem, is to inflation, to get it under control. And then once you get it under control, they can do other things. And that's why they took this decision.
Well done. Well, again, you nailed it. 100 basis points on the market. The new Naira notes. In fact, I think we have them. I want to ask you about the governor saying they are not moving on that deadline. As we take a look at the notes. Yeah, there they are. So there's the new notes. There's the reader. What do you think, Chika?
Even before the president, you could read or you heard the governor of Central Bank, give the accolades to the president for backing him in this initiative. Before even the president came, we backed him on this program. We supported him. We saw that most economies change their currencies every 5 to 8 years. Ours has not been changed for 20 years. Not surprising, therefore, that some of the things we are seeing, the massive money that a lot of us are seeing, notes are seeing. Some of them have the wrappers of banks that have become extinct in the Nigerian banking system. So a lot of banks that were in the system about 20 years ago are not here again now. So, and then, so simply put, I'm not one of these analysts that just dramatizes things.
Of course.
See, guys, if your business is real, if your money is bona fide, 100 days is enough for you
to swap. There's no.
Money is made for transactions.
Right.
It's not for you to store Naira notes in the warehouse. Just there doing nothing. Unless that is the way you have been doing it. Or you're storing up we had some politicians who are saying, no, shift the date till April. Now we can know the interest in that. Let them, the money they're holding, let them use it for presumably for the election. And so the interest they were fighting the Central Bank initiative on this, a lot of them had very narrow interests, not the national interest. We believe we saw the reason why this had to be done. But in Nigeria, everything is done look at the prism of politics. There may be some need to that, but analysts like us just saw through the issue that we needed to change this, notes. The positives from the change outweigh any negatives. And the Central Bank has said from 86,000 bank service providers before, agent providers,
1.4 million now. So they should be able to target the rural
areas.
All right, business analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, we thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you coming on.